What's up and welcome to the Kind of Funny Gamescast, a bonus Kind of Funny Gamescast for August 19th, 2025. Of course, I am Tim Geddes. I am joined today by the Tastemaker, Roger Picorni.
I'm super bald today. I use like one of
Super bald?
Yeah, I use one of the like the head
The
shavers.
TikTok things?
Yeah, exactly. They have like the 5 blades that look kind
Wow.
of
Can
crazy.
you do me a favor? Can you move your head around a little bit towards that light?
Let
Look at the rays.
Let
the
the-
big
yeah.
rays.
Let that specularity. So many
love
rays are bouncing.
And joining us once again, it's the Nitro Rifle, Andy Cortez.
Good morning, everybody.
Andy, I keep complimenting you, but you just keep getting more compliment worthy. First off, hair never looked better. Last couple of weeks, I'm loving all the changes, the little subtle
Little
things you've been
haircut
doing.
last night.
It's good.
Little
The
trim.
hair is good. The hair is
Thank you.
powerful, but even more powerful is the looks, man. I love that you're just full on committing to the like color coordination all day, every day.
Oh, thank you.
It's the
Thank you,
greatest
Tim.
thing. I've been hoping you would do this for years. You've always been halfway
Teasing it.
there, teasing it. You're just
Teasing
all in
the
now.
masses.
And it's so good.
Thank you.
There's mass hysteria.
Thank
everybody.
you. The jacket I'm saving up for now, the most lime green neon thing you've ever seen in your life.
I love it.
It's
absolutely love
$100.
that.
It's
Yeah.
really expensive.
It's gonna make fun of you so bad. It's
can't
gonna
wait.
be awesome.
Fuck it, dude. He's gonna look so damn cool. So this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast, where each and every weekday we get together to talk about the biggest reviews, previews, and topics in video games live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, please support us with the Kind of Funny membership to get our shows ad-free and a daily exclusive Greg Way. Speaking of that monster, he's back.
Jesus
Greg's been on vacation for 2 weeks and one day.
I don't know why he felt the need to tweet out the image, or maybe it was just Instagram of Dawn of the Final Day.
Yeah,
You don't got to do that.
Yeah.
he's
He
a
also-
Nintendo guy now. That's
He
the whole
is.
thing.
He really is.
Great. He texted me last night saying a lot of
no.
people, or no, he said, I'm going to fuck some shit up tomorrow.
That's good.
A lot of people are going to be saying, quote, I thought he was one of the good ones, but nah. And the cool guy emoji with the sunglasses.
But nah.
God. Remember when he said no cap?
Yeah, I'm so glad we made fun
What
of
was
him.
that all about? What was that all about?
For a chance to be part of the show, submit your thoughts. That makes me laugh so much. Submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube super chats as we go. A little housekeeping for you. We are an 11-person business all about live talk shows, and there's a lot of live stuff happening. Today is Gamescom day, everybody. It's Gamescom week, which means there's a lot of things out of whack, just like a normal Summer Game Fest week. There's going to be embargoes. There's things we can't talk about yet. There's a lot of stuff happening, so please be patient with us as the schedule and calendar kind of shifts and changes. We have a plan. The plan might change or shift a little bit because I can't say too much, but I will say we've been playing games, and throughout the week we will be talking about games that we have played. Some are very, very exciting, so stay tuned to all of that coverage on the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Today, this is a bonus Gamescast. We'll be doing another one later that's reacting to or breaking down everything that we see at Gamescom opening night live and the pre-show as well. There's going to be a ton of stuff talked about. Of course, we're going to be live reacting to that right after this show. So if you're on Twitch or YouTube, just hang out with us all day. It's going to be an absolute blast. If you're a Kind of Funny member, you're getting today's Greg Way, of course, which I imagine is from the man himself, making his valiant return. I'm sure he has so much to say.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney, the Psalm Twining. Today, we are brought to you by NVIDIA. NVIDIA has partnered with us, as they often do, to help kind of promote their GeForce initiatives, whether it's GeForce Now or the latest 50 series cards, all that stuff. Yesterday, they did, let's start with the topic of the show.
Tots.
Whoa.
Tots.
No.
What?
Why are you offbeat?
I don't do
Who's
a
that
beat.
little-
I don't do a beat.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never done a beat. Look, it's on record.
It's on the record.
All right.
I add the accessorizing like
Harmony.
reverbs.
I don't like this accessory. No.
You don't listen to ASMR, that's why. Whenever I do that, Kevin puts me in the right and left channels.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Oh, man, using the NVIDIA Reflex. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So the topic of the show is everything announced with NVIDIA GeForce On at Gamescom. They did an NVIDIA GeForce On community showcase highlighting a whole bunch of new announcements, updates to a lot of the programs and ecosystem that they have at this point. No new hardware. They made that clear going into this. This was going to be a very software-focused thing and talking about not just their software, but other software that they are partnering with, which is something they often do that results in a lot of the streams we do where Andy shows off all the fancy NVIDIA stuff and, you know, all the big games.
It felt like a State of the Union.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
kind
I
of
liked
just like,
it.
hey,
I
we put
want-
out some dope products. Let's have a talk about all this
I
stuff.
wanted to stand behind them every time they were like DLSS4 and stand up and start the clapping or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to start with you, Andy, just like an overall, because we'll get through everything they actually announced. We'll treat this like we do when we watch the showcase and break down everything that we saw. But overall, top level thoughts, you being the biggest PC guy at the office, you being, I'd say, the biggest NVIDIA guy at the office, what's your takeaways from this? Do you have any standout highlights?
I love it, and I've talked about a lot of different presentations in the past where I've totally changed my tune over the last couple years, where I used to always think, man, this could have been an email, but now there's just so many things to keep track of. It's nice to get things in a condensed little package that I can kind of watch and view, and me being such a visual learner, because I could read a tweet about something that NVIDIA posted and then be half in on what was that tweet thing they tweeted about with GeForce Now or whatever. But I really enjoyed the packaging of this little 29 minute video. I would say the thing I'm most excited about are what they're doing with GeForce Now, especially having becoming more of a GeForce Now user, because this is totally not even a game that necessarily requires the most intensive action, but The King is Watching has been my addiction as of late, and The King is Watching wasn't working great on my laptop. There was a memory issue or whatever, memory leakage, and so I was running it on GeForce Now. I'm like, oh, this is perfect, and I kind of cannot underrate how good that product is. I'm so late to it. I know people have been playing GeForce Now forever, and I've always kind of been the cloud gaming denier, but GeForce Now is the one that absolutely makes me the believer that I checked it out the other night on my Steam Deck playing Final Fantasy 16. It's what a fucking game changer this is. This is so impressive.
Yeah. Raj, what are your takeaways?
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm always the NVIDIA tech person when it comes to the bigger releases. When there is a new hardware drop, when there is a new version of RTX or DLSS. So to come in here and see kind of hey, this is the granular, this are the smaller updates that all come together in this one big package. I was really interested in this. There was a lot of smaller things here, especially the RTX remix stuff that, I mean,
so sick.
When we get into it of I did not expect an iNinja drop in 2025.
Yeah.
My mind was blown. I was I thought I was the only person that played that game. That was kind of cool. But to see what the community is doing around RTX Remix, and to also see GeForce Now, because I think I'm at the precipice of something where I'm playing PS5, I'm playing on my consoles, and I'm I don't have the Pro yet. I don't want to spend the money on the Pro. It's not looking as good as I want it to be. I'm doing the cloud streaming from my computer to my TV. It's not looking as good. I think GeForce Now is kind of the way that I want to be playing games, and I'm specifically looking at Resident Evil Requiem, and that's going to be the first game that I try fully on GeForce Now. I think that's going to be the way forward for me.
I'm super stoked about what they do with Resident Evil, because Resident Evil's had the past couple of versions of them have had, I don't want to be a negative Nancy and call them half-assed ray tracing sort of implementations, but they just haven't. It's felt like they are unofficial mods in a way, where they just never quite work like they should. When I tried playing Resident Evil 2, and it was running fine, but it just didn't look great, and it was putting a weird sort of outline, almost like a cel-shaded stroke around Leon Kennedy. I'm not going to play with ray tracing, which is crazy for me to even think of, right? And so I'm excited to see that they are closely partnering with them to make sure that this is the best version that it can be possible.
Yeah, I mean, that actually was my biggest takeaway, is that, to your point, Roger, of this not being a new hardware, the new next generation thing, we just got that so recently, and I love that this update was kind of all right, cool, now that stuff's out there, how can we apply that to all of our different systems in ways that the users are looking for? And GeForce Now getting the architecture of the 50 series cards, that's awesome, because I'm with Andy. I've more so than Andy, I've been on the streaming side, a supporter of the cloud stuff for a while now, but GeForce Now is just a different level of it, mainly because of the ease of use, where you can use it everywhere, and it being more of you're playing from the cloud, where everything I've done so far has been more on the remote play. I'm actually playing on my PlayStation type thing. So this unlocking all the classic stuff they talk about, all the numbers, all the acronyms, but they're talking about on LG TVs, you can get 4K 120, right? Like on Steam Deck, you can get that 90 hertz.
frames. I hadn't even considered that as a possibility because whenever you want to play something on Steam Deck that's maybe super visually, impressive, you want to, because it's a 90 hertz display on the OLED, you can decide to go with 45 frames per second or whatever, and it's going to look smoother, obviously, than 30 frames per second, but the possibility of 90 hertz hadn't even crossed my mind. I was like, oh shit, that is something that can happen.
And I think it's very cool, to your point about the Resident Evil thing. Like, I like that it seems like we're at a point with multiple of the different verticals that NVIDIA has, whether it's the GeForce Now side, the actual cards themselves, the technology of DLSS and RTX and all of that, where they're all working in tandem and they're able to work with the developers at Capcom on, hey, let's make sure that Resident Evil 9 or Requiem can work on as entry level of PC as it possibly can,
right?
But then also come up with all these different ways to be able to make it just accessible on your smart TVs or on whatever device that you have available.
Now let's hit up From Software next.
Yeah,
maybe get them closely, involved. I know that engine isn't necessarily the greatest thing to work with, but that's always a frustration of mine. I do want to say a couple of nitpicks and maybe feedbacks for the presentation. I don't know if they're there was not a great example in the Resident Evil one of RTX on, RTX off. Like it was one of those guy with the toothpick in his mouth where it's like that meme of like, here I am before, here I am after. Like it looked visually the same, right? And I much prefer, and I think it's a lot more effective to, instead of doing the RTX on and off wipe, to just do the fade in and fade out. That's like always been my go-to thing. And like whenever me and Kevin have done streams here where I'll take a screenshot of the game with all the stuff off and we'll leave that up and then I will like fade it out and on. So like,
that's pretty cool.
Look at where these shadows pop up. Look at where this ambient occlusion is happening. That's a lot easier for me. And I think just a better way to show before and after, because the wipe, you kind of just forget what was casting shadows and what wasn't, so.
Yeah,
little feedback.
We need the Andy cut.
Exactly.
This, NVIDIA
exactly.
Showcase here. I love in the chat, Mitch Bomber says, why did he bring up iNinja?
Oh, yeah.
I love that. And the reason he brought it up is one of my other favorite things about this, which is the remix stuff. We helped launch the Portal remix that they put out a couple years back now. Kev, if you can bring up that video. We did like a launch party for Portal with RTX, and it was cool. Seeing,
I forgot about this.
Yeah, like this is one of the earlier things that
hanging
that
out with Niall.
But yeah, so Niall was the senior product manager over at NVIDIA. You see him there. He was in this showcase as well. He was like kind of heading up the remix little section as they were talking about. He's
usually in a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, so that's very, very cool.
But remix is just one of those cool ass things that I mean, you know me, Tim. I love the before and after. I love. As much as people like give George Lucas shit for going back to old Star Wars movies and like adding, like I would totally be that guy. I love tinkering. I love seeing the brick texture get up-res. I love seeing that metal have extra sheen this time. So what the communities have been doing with all of these older games and saying, what if we could put the RTX spin on it? Like everything they showed with that Painkiller game.
Oh, dude.
Like that looked so phenomenal.
And yeah, that's the thing. Like, we'll get into it a little bit more specifically later, but they had a competition for RTX Remix for modders out there to win up to $50,000 for making just mods of older games and like remixing them up to new standards. And that's where the iNinja comes in.
Yes, that's where iNinja comes into. Yeah, that honestly, iNinja was the thing that blew me away because I'm looking around like, okay, Painkiller. I don't have any. I never played Painkiller before, so it's like I don't know, could have looked like this beforehand. iNinja, I know exactly how iNinja looked like. So I was like, wow, that's crazy that the community put 2,000 new textures into this game. It's really cool to see them getting behind this. And I saw Need for Speed Underground 2 in there.
If y'all haven't seen Need for Speed Underground 2, the remix, it's awesome. Because I mean, think about it, right? That there's no game that needs ray tracing more than just those wet roads and the neon lights under the cars. Like that's so freaking
I'm gonna
sick.
check this out. I'm so excited.
But just giving a quick little top level breakdown of a bunch of the things that they announced here. Path tracing and DLSS 4 are coming to Resident Evil Requiem and Directive 8020. We were talking about the Resident Evil side of that, but yeah, it looks awesome. Resident Evil Requiem seems to really be focusing on a lot of dust in the air, and how does the light cut through it, and the different colored lights. Like even in that preview, we saw some green and red lights, and how it kind of shifts the vibe of a hallway. And like that's what Resident Evil is all about, that ambiance and that, you know, setting yourself in this atmosphere that itself is scary, right?
Yeah, horror games I think benefit so much from any sort of ray tracing, with all the ways that lighting can really set the mood and, you know, prepare you for what's in the next room. I think that's like one of the genres that you definitely see RTX really shining.
Yeah, and then ray tracing and DLSS 4 are coming to Black State, Cinder City, Chronos: The New Dawn, Dying Light: The Beast, Honeycomb: The World Beyond, Lost Soul Aside, The Outer Worlds 2, Phantom Blade Zero, and Pragmata. Hey. Phantom Blade Zero got a little section here. Kevin, if you can bring up the B-roll of that. Andy, did that?
Full ass section, yeah. Super pumped about this. I think I'm most excited about it because S Game is a smaller studio. They're not this gigantic behemoth that has all of the budget in the world to make sure that their games are going to become the most optimized things ever, right? And I love when NVIDIA can say, "Hey, let us help out with that."
Yeah.
Hey, if you're, you know, if that mid-range machine can't hit 60. Or if that higher end machine is struggling with 60 while doing ray tracing, what if we can help out with DLSS 4 and get you extra frames? It looks so damn impressive, and man, the art team is just really killing it for this title.
Yeah, I love how much we're seeing this game too, because like I mean, again, you've played it, like you know it's good,
yeah,
and you know it's real, which I think is even more important these days. But yeah, it's very cool to see, and yeah, to your point, like a smaller team working on such a cool looking title that we all see and are like, oh shit, this one looks different. Yeah, for NVIDIA to back it, I think is a very awesome thing.
I was the Black State one is the one that's going to be the Black State game is that Metal Gear Solid type game, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
When that trailer definitely stood out the most because there was nothing happening. It was just pure visuals.
Yeah.
Look at these awesome reflections. Look at the way everything is sort of reflecting. And then I, in that moment, remembered, oh, that's right. This is a tech presentation. Yeah. I don't know why I was expecting, you know, protagonists to pop up and with a gun or whatever. But it still looked really, really damn good. Cinder City was one of these titles I had never heard of before.
Yeah, me neither.
I had never heard of this game, and I believe
formerly called Project LLL.
Is this the one that was an open first-person shooter MMO, I believe?
Yes, NCSoft new shooter MMO. Cinder City is what it looked like.
This one looked crazy impressive.
Yeah.
This one looked damn good.
Going back to goddamn Phantom Blade Zero for a second. Did you guys see yesterday posted image that was saying that they're going to announce the release date in 2025?
No.
I thought that the last thing already confirmed fall 2026. Maybe I'm off on that.
I mean, something came out and said they will put out a release date in 2025. Not that it's coming this year, but that
there will be a release date.
They're going to put out the release date.
Okay.
Oh, you know what it was? Okay, never mind. When I saw it at GDC, they kept telling me, we are going to announce the year this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
now maybe they're getting a bit
We're
more
getting a little bit
Okay.
closer. Yeah. No, for reals, I hate you so much.
I knew it. I knew it was happening. I knew it was happening.
Yeah, Roger called it like before the show even started. Like, this is a sponsored bit. I don't think NVIDIA wants to see the rays tracing off this man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Hard
Oh, great. So you're taking Nintendo from me and Disneyland. Okay, cool.
Don't worry, for a sponsored stream, I'm sure they want the champ here.
Yeah.
The two-time champ. No. All right. Miss
you, Greg.
I haven't been on content since I won another season of Kind of Funny Game Showdown.
You didn't have to be on this one.
Pretty good.
This
feels pretty good, everybody. I'm going to be on another one for quite some time.
He's dancing. He's moonwalking.
Is that what he's doing?
I don't know.
There's a lot more neck
A lot of neck wobble.
palpitations. All right. Anyways, sorry, you were talking about this MMO FPS.
Was I? I don't remember.
Cinder City.
Oh yeah, he's still going.
Still going.
Yeah, that one looked really impressive. He's still he's laughing over there. Nobody can hear him. He's off mic.
They can though. He's laughing really loud.
Yeah, he was laughing really, really loud. The one that looked really, really impressive as well was Hell Is Us, which is coming out very, very soon. And that game's going to have a whole lot of areas that can super benefit from that. Just like Black State did, where it's look at all these metals and shiny things. Hell Is Us is going to be one of those that really showcases reflections and lighting and stuff like that.
Yep. Borderlands 4 and Fate Trigger are launching with DLSS 4 with multi-frame generation.
Hell yeah.
In addition to that, Borderlands 4 is going to come free with certain NVIDIA cards.
Yeah, that's a perfect match right there. I'm actually as we're getting closer to Borderlands 4, getting very excited for Borderlands 4.
Man,
I have that itch to get back to a looter shooter.
I've been so stoked for it.
I think this might be the one. I think this might be the Borderlands that I actually get into. Every time the Borderlands comes out, I'm like, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna get really into one.
I thought you and Barrett got into 3.
No, I just edited the Borderlands show.
I was blessing and Barrett.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for this one. I'm excited for this one.
Could be the one.
Could be the one, everybody.
But this goes back to what we're saying, where I think it's cool that we're adding a lot of this NVIDIA tech to older games, but then also looking forward to the imminent releases and things like Resident Evil that are a little further down the line, a couple months away. But like, I just like that we're finally at a point, it feels that, I don't want to say the expectation, but a good bet would be that big premiere titles and some of the more anticipated smaller things, or I don't even want to say smaller, but anticipated things like Phantom Blade are able to get this technology and at launch and all of that.
It's a good mix of the AAAs and then also the things that maybe might not be on your radar, but they're going to put on your radar because they're connected with those themes. It's cool stuff.
And then Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is adding RTX hair for more detailed and realistic hair in path traced scenes. Looks insane.
I don't remember seeing that in the video.
It wasn't in this video, but that was just another thing.
I saw a social post that they put out, which, if we've seen anything from whenever game developers push hair tech like that, and it sounds like such a silly ass thing, but Dragon Age was the one where we're like, oh shit. This is where we're seeing tech being collaborated on from, all right, the EAFC team is working on that hair stuff. Now let's give that to the BioWare team from there and they can continue sort of development on it. That shit looks really, really damn impressive. I was checking right now, Tim, does GeForce now have like free trials?
Yeah, there's a free trial for lower levels.
Okay. That just seems like a fucking, just give it a shot.
Just give it a shot.
It's just insanely impressive.
Yeah.
Just really,
that is the thing is I know that this is sponsored, so obviously take everything we're saying with a grain of salt, but you hear us talk on all these shows, so you either know and understand who we are or not, and that's fine. But legitimately, like Andy and I have been freaking out about GeForce Now for a long time now, and it just continues to get better. Like playing Expedition 33 on my Steam Deck earlier in the year was fine. And then once I realized that at home I can just play it on GeForce Now, it's like, oh my God, this is such a game changer because it's the game, like how it should be running.
And now they're adding that new feature where the game doesn't have to be part of the GeForce library.
Yeah, so let's get into that, actually.
That's really, really damn cool.
I'd love to hear more about that one.
Yeah, so where are we at here?
Because I think I experienced that recently with Final Fantasy 16, where I essentially logged into GeForce Now and was just trying to play something on my Steam Deck because the official app is out now on Steam Deck. And when I booted up and I hit Final Fantasy 16, then it took me to a cloud version of like, here's a web browser, but you're looking at a Steam UI. And then it said install Final Fantasy 16. And I was like, install it, but I don't want to install it here. And it wasn't installing on my Steam Deck. It was installing on whatever, sort of remote machine I was booting into. Installed that, started running. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Especially, and even on my crappy Wi-Fi that I complain about all the time, like that always loses connection, that I'm within walls and whatever they're putting in, whatever's in our San Francisco walls is just preventing any sort of connection from happening. It's so impressive.
Yeah, so
it's horsehair.
What?
I said it's horsehair on the walls.
Really?
Yeah, they put it between the lather.
Important information. We got it. That's a big revelation. We got it. That's a massive revelation.
It's like that is the greatest thing I've ever heard. The NVIDIA Blackwell architecture is coming to GeForce Now in the platform's biggest update yet, delivering NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5080 class GPUs to the cloud, including NVIDIA DLSS 4 multi-frame generation for streaming up to 5K resolution at 120 frames per second, new AI-powered features, and more. The GeForce Now library will double to over 4,500 titles with the launch of Install to Play, which allows members to access more of their PC collections along with upcoming AAA games launching in the cloud. There's a new cinematic quality streaming mode that significantly improves graphical fidelity with the Blackwell-powered technology for stunning color accuracy, super smooth streaming, and crystal clear graphics. And they show some examples in this where just like the details in the background and some of the things that like you have noticed playing on GeForce Now. I'm just like, all right, this isn't as good as it should be looking. And it seems like they're solving some of those issues.
So freaking impressive. I think it's so neat that again, I still think the tech is not like, I think there's a lot of people out there that just don't even know what the tech is and maybe think that when they think of Google Stadia back in the day, or they think of other sort of cloud gaming brands, that you're essentially booting into a machine remotely that is running really, really high tech hardware. And right now, well, the current form of GeForce Now, I believe we're still booting into like 4090s if you have like the ultimate package. But with this newer update, now you're going to be booting into machines that have 5080s or 5090s. I forgot.
5080.
Yeah, 5080. So you're getting a stronger machine now that is capable of running your favorite games even better now. And I just think it's like, I think for anybody who's been curious, like just straight up give it a shot.
Yes.
Again, you can take that with a grain of salt, but I'll be saying that on non-sponsored streams too. I think it's like just really impressive stuff for people that maybe don't have the highest res machines, or maybe console gamers that haven't really had a chance to see what a machine can do. I think it's just really impressive.
Yeah, it was mind-blowing the first time I tried it out, which was pretty recently for Assassin's Creed Shadows. When they had the review period, they're like, hey, if you want to play this game before we get console codes, you could play it through GeForce Now. I was like, okay, let me boot it up. And I was like, whoa, I could not believe, I did not see I did not see the streaming. I felt it, and it was HDR, it was beautiful on my LG TV, and it was 60 FPS and 4K, and I was absolutely blown away. So I can't imagine that with now 5080 series cards. That's crazy stuff.
I hope they partner more with game developers in the future, where during the pandemic we would use Parsec to play a game.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is not the best way to be showing off your game right now. This would be like the ideal way to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then the extensive list of supported devices continues to grow. Now includes racing wheels up to 90 frames per second on Steam Deck, 4K at 120 hertz on supported LG TVs, and more. And again, this is just to me the culmination of like, we're starting to get where we need to be. It just works the way you need it to, wherever you want it to. And this, you were saying, Andy, of like, this is a great thing to just give it a shot. If you have been a doubter before, try it yourself just to see. Like, if you have only been a console gamer, don't have the PC. I think that this is just such a great additive thing too, of just another option to be able to play your games anywhere. Like, you just were traveling to Austin. I'm sure the idea of like, I can just bring a low power, just bring my Steam Deck and be able to play whatever I want, having it run great, look great. It's like, that's just an awesome option in addition to your dope ass PC you have at home.
And I think another really cool thing that they pointed out that I hadn't even considered was you're getting way more battery life on your Steam Deck, because even your Steam Deck trying to run something on low settings, you're not going to get the best amount of battery life, right? Like you just think about what it's trying to run. But in this case, your Steam Deck is just streaming something. It's not powering the hardware. The cloud out there, the machine that's running out there remotely is what's powering everything. So you are essentially you're streaming something using the internet, and your screen is on, but you're like, the internals aren't doing a whole lot to get the game going, and so you get a lot more battery life playing a game because of that reason.
Yeah, and you can go into the Steam Deck and you can change the power settings and drop that all the way down and really maximize it.
Yeah,
and on top of that, it's battery, which is obviously incredible, but also just heat and fan, and just that, like, sometimes your Steam Deck can get kind of cooking, and like you hear that fan going like, woo, it's like, it just doesn't happen with this, which is, I think, awesome.
Talking about the GeForce Now stuff, the Fortnite stuff with Discord, that shit blew my mind.
Because Andy brought up Stadia, and like we all saw those initial reveals and them talking about like, you're watching a YouTube video, and then imagine you could just start playing the game. Well, the future is now, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. They announced that they're partnering with Discord specifically for Fortnite and GeForce Now, where if somebody's playing Fortnite, you can now press a button and boot into GeForce Now and log in, and now you're playing Fortnite. Like just off the rip, you're now in a GeForce Now section, and now you're playing Fortnite, which is really cool. And that's kind of the dream. That's always been the dream. I mean, I remember from like PlayStation 4, like we were talking about the idea of just like one of your friends is playing something, press a button, now you're in their game, right? Like we've been trying to figure this out for so long. I remember On Live back in the day was trying to do this as well. I will always mention On Live. I loved On Live, RIP. So this being that and connected to the biggest connection platform with your friends, possible with the biggest game, is really impressive and honestly exciting, because the amount of times that I've been playing Fortnite in Discord and then my friend's like, oh, I don't got that installed. Now I'm like, you don't have any excuses.
I have no excuses.
Yeah, now you have to drop with me. Now we
when
have
our
to play.
friend Kevin A6 is like, everyone play Fortnite? Like, I have no excuses.
Yeah.
It's such a big download, you know?
So it's really cool, and it's nice that it's just literally built into the platform, and I think we're going to see that happen more and more in the future, hopefully with more games. That'd be really sick.
Yeah, really. Again, a lot of just like really cool iterative updates here, but I think it's adding up to be something very special, because I think that we've already hit this critical point of, oh, this works, and this is actually not just a viable product, but like a fantastic product. So very excited to see how this continues to grow. I'm excited to try out the cinematic quality streaming thing myself. I want to see how that all looks. But yeah, it's like these are all the numbers you want to see, right? And I do feel like it is something that we've now experienced. I'm like, oh wow, I look at it on my TV, I'm like, this looks great. I play it on the Steam Deck and it looks how it should. And so getting that 90 frames on Steam Deck is something I didn't expect to see. So really excited there.
Kevin, can you do me a favor and just bring up the Cinder City RTX trailer? Because again, I've been itching for, wanting to go back to the Division. We've been trying to get a Division 2 stream where we returned to New York, whatever that DLC was. Trying to get one on the books to stream it here. Kind of funny, and like things have just always kind of gotten in the way. But I love me a co-op shooter with hanging out with friends, and like I had, even RTX aside, I just thought the game looked like, oh shit, I didn't know this was even a video game. Now I know about it, and that's also the nice little benefit of these little presentations, is that it just puts more eyes on things that you didn't even know existed.
Yeah, Andy, there was a lot of app updates as well for the NVIDIA app. Did anything stand out to you for there?
I haven't really fully been utilizing the NVIDIA app like I probably should. I still am so habitual into using the NVIDIA control panel. And so that's where like I need to move over eventually, but it's just so part of my rhythm to like, oh, I want to limit the frame rate on this. Let me open up NVIDIA control panel. But one thing I did appreciate about the NVIDIA app updates is that it now has like global override settings, because if you were trying to get too granular with your games and telling them like, oh, I want this game to do ray reconstruction all the way, but not, and then you'd play another game and go, oh shit, I thought I set that on. No, you didn't. You only put it on that other game. The global override stuff is really good, and that's just neat little quality of life improvements.
Yeah, for sure. Jesus says, I wonder how well it works compared to Game Pass streaming and stuff. So one just interesting thing here, just kind of related to the Game Pass part of it, is the way that NVIDIA GeForce Now works is it is just playing stuff from your own library. Like there's free games
you
that
have to own the games.
You need to own the games. This is just a service to be able to access those games wherever you are. But owning the games can also mean you link it to your Steam account. GeForce Now, you link it to Ubisoft Play. What it's called?
Yeah.
Ubisoft Play.
Game
you can
Pass?
link it to Xbox Game Pass. So if you have Xbox Game Pass, you have access to Game Pass games.
Ubisoft Connect. Sorry.
Ubisoft Connect. There we go. EA Play, right? No,
Yes.
that was the showcase that it.
No,
whatever.
EA Play was called that though. The app was called.
Well,
that.
I'm not sure we could link EA Play. So I'm
No,
gonna
you
take
can't.
that back.
You can't.
But Ubisoft and Xbox Game Pass for sure, and Steam. So if you have Xbox Game Pass
And Epic Game Launcher as well.
and Epic, so it's like obviously like all the big dogs there. But Game Pass, I think, is the most intriguing, because if you have Game Pass, obviously you have access to so many games. That means you then have access to those games on GeForce Now as well. So it's like very, very cool how that all works together, because that seems like something that seems too good to be true.
Yeah.
You're like that. Well, that's not going to work that way, and it does. So very cool.
You aren't. Yeah, to kind of reiterate what Tim was saying, you aren't renting out the ability to play a game that you don't own. You have to own the games. You are essentially like using somebody else's awesome machine to power your game. And thinking back on it, I was like, damn, I was always so bummed out with how bad Baldur's Gate 3 ran on Steam Deck, which is like, I shouldn't have expected a whole lot. It's not the lightest game to run, but it looked like, it looked the way it did on Steam Deck, and it didn't run particularly great. And I just wish back then that I would have given GeForce Now a try, even in that stage, to see, how much better it could have ran for me.
Just a clarification here. Ubisoft Plus is linkable to GeForce
Oh,
Now.
Plus, okay.
So, yeah,
it's not Connect? Damn, maybe it is Plus.
Maybe. I like your living room, though.
Yeah, exactly. Ubisoft Connect doesn't matter.
Is that the app name?
That's what I thought.
I want to talk about RTX Remix.
I'm opening it right now. We'll check
Connect
it
is the launcher, Plus is the service.
out. Yeah, okay.
So RTX Remix, we were talking about it earlier. This is the opportunity for modders to use a lot of the
So
NVIDIA
cool.
tech to go back into games and add all of it to it to make them all fancy.
I just love that as I open up all the things to see what my connections are, it just says Ubisoft. We could have just said Ubisoft.
Oh man, but yeah, so they were doing that competition I was talking about, and they handed out a bunch of money to winners here.
Oh, and BattleNet. Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, there we go. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's like the major services, which is very cool. Kev, if you could bring up the RTX Remix section as we talk through some of this, because the big one was the Painkiller mod there,
Yes.
and this looked insane, and it won most of the big awards that they gave out in terms of like overall experience, like biggest upgrades, like things like that.
Yeah, and I would assume that not only does it look great and it looks super visually impressive, but they kept on pointing out that this mod team did this across 30 different levels in the game. So I would also assume that maybe some of the other entries had some sections fully decked out with
Vertical
RTX.
slice,
Maybe the other ones weren't super complete, but this one seems to be the most complete experience of all of them.
Yeah, I mean, an example of that is the Call of Duty 2, where they were talking about how it's not the whole game or anything, it's just this one section, but they went in and like custom added
They scanned in.
historically accurate World War II
Props.
props where they scanned them in to replace them. Like, that's
crazy
insane.
stuff.
Yeah.
But cool that like that's the level of tinkering you can do with this. But yeah, the most important thing that we have to talk about, obviously, is one of the runner-up winners for most complete RTX mod, and that is iNinja Remixed, the 2003 cult classic platformer from Argonaut Games, a colorful platformer from the past that was primarily played on the PS2 before being released on PC exclusively in Europe a year later.
That's crazy.
So G.I. George 333 has remastered this little-known release in iNinja Remixed, updating over 2,000 textures with PBR materials and adding new lighting throughout the game. Roger.
I mean, yeah, that's incredible. When you see the water right there, like that is night and day. That's the stuff that I'm more interested in when it comes to RTX, is taking these stylized worlds and adding a level of art to it, like adding on top of the beauty of what that game is, and kind of translating it to a modern setting right now. And it looks really great. And this is my winner. You know what I mean? They can add that to their repertoire. They got runner up, but they also got Roger's winner.
Oh, wow.
For RTX Remix, so they could put that on the box.
Get
right
that
there.
trophy as well.
Right there.
That's awesome.
Incredible stuff.
And there's even more RTX Remix mods available to download and play right now, and obviously there's going to be many more to come in the future. Each of the mods submitted to the RTX Remix modding contest are available to download now from ModDB. That's the mod database. Andy, you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, moddb.com/remix, I believe, is where you can go check out all of these different games. And the one that really caught my eye there was BioShock. And I was like, oh man, keep working on that sucker. I want to check that one
Don't
out.
stop.
Yeah, because that's I just love whenever, modders get in their bag and just start really, really showing their dedication to the art form. It's just really cool. Kevin,
Sorry, real quick, stay where you are, just because that's the one thing I wanted to talk about. One thing they're adding to RTX Remix is path traced particles.
Yeah.
So that even just all the tech that they have, they're continuing to add even more things for the modders to be able to do. And you can see as the little like glowing thing goes back and forth, you can change the gravity of the particles, and the little like all the particles behind it start going
So
up
many
and down in
sliders,
different
Tim.
ways.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's so cool. But sorry, Andy, go for it.
well, this is just kind of an aside, but I've been really glazing GeForce Now this whole stream. And Kevin and I were talking yesterday about, are we going to get this new Pixel Fold phone? And like, I don't really want a fold phone. I don't want a phone that unfolds and becomes a larger screen. But like, the more I think of it, the more that, it's definitely smaller than my Steam Deck. And having a larger screen to fold out and have a game through GeForce Now running on there, like,
Let me tell you, Andy.
Shit, man.
A nice tablet, a controller.
Yeah, dude.
You're flying in style, baby.
Damn.
What else? What do we have here that we want to talk about? Just one little fun thing. NVIDIA keeps trying to partner with different games to support where the community is. So you can get a GeForce reward. You get a Doctor Strange Master of Black Magic costume in Marvel
Sick.
Rivals.
Sick.
You can get that if you want.
Where is that? I want to see that. What is it? I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, it was in the video.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And then the last thing is there's a lot of the AI enhancements, right? What was it? They showed a demo of, what is that game called?
When he's talking to the person?
Yeah.
Oh,
I have too many tabs.
Is it the Oversight Bureau?
Yes.
The Oversight Bureau?
Mm-hmm. A new NVIDIA Ace-powered game has been revealed. Ace is one of their AI technologies where it's like you can talk to the character and it talks back and stuff, and it looks nifty. I don't know. Not really for me.
Yeah, not for me. Not for me. I wasn't too impressed with that demo, but I mean, it looked like it worked.
The one thing that I thought was cool was just like the note-taking stuff, because I do a lot of note-taking when I'm playing a lot of these games, and I think it could be cool to be able to. It would have to be something that seems cool in theory, but like to be able to say like, hey, bring up the notes on this game or whatever, bring up these coordinates, and to be able to shuffle through your notes, just kind of like show you exactly on the fly, so you're not having to fumble through a whole lot of stuff. I think that stuff is fascinating. I just don't know if that's something I would even utilize, but it's different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. So and any closing thoughts, Roger Picorni?
I'm gonna download iNinja tonight. And I'm gonna play that. No, this is a really cool check-in with NVIDIA, and a lot of things that I'm gonna be looking forward to, specifically when it comes to GeForce Now. I mean, I'm looking at that price. I'm like, I think this is the move. I think I'm gonna try it out, at least give it a few months, and see where it's at in my gaming situation right now. Because I think there's a perfect place that it could fit in right now, and I'm excited specifically for Resident Evil Requiem, because I don't like going into my other room and playing on my PC. I have a nice, I have a 3080 in there. I feel good with my gaming setup. That's work mode. I want to be in the living room. I want to be playing my game. So I think GeForce Now would be the perfect place on my TV, on my LG TV with, 4K 120 or something like that they're going for? That's fire right there. That's an easy way to go about that.
I think it like just sort of totally changes what I've thought of as a Steam Deck game now. With my thought of like, oh, that's a Steam Deck game. That when I'm done streaming whatever big game that looks amazing on my 4090 on my machine, and I'm running 190 frames over there or whatever, when I get into bed, I'll play this other game. But there have been tons of times where I want to continue that one big game that I was playing, and you just can't do it. Like, I think back to Dragon's Dogma 2, just that game can't really run great on my Steam Deck, and it was sub 30 frames per second, and it looked so blurry and noisy, and the ability to run like an almost exact, facsimile of what you were having on your PC. It's just like really, really opens up what could be the in-bed Steam Deck game,
Yeah, totally, man. Oh, what a time to be alive, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today for this partnership with NVIDIA. They've been so good to us, so we really, really appreciate you being here for us. And we're going to do a whole bunch of cool stuff because it's Gamescom day. We're about to live react to the pre-show, the show itself. We'll do a Gamescast breaking down everything that we saw.
Sorry about Greg.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
Just in general. And guess what? Greg's back all day. He's going to be on all the content I just said. I'm sure shenanigans will ensue. There's going to be some great stuff too. And there's a lot of news to cover. We're going to cover it somehow, some way.
Figure it out.
Kirby's here. Rod Ferguson's here.
In the same room.
What else is going? Hollow Knight. I'm a clown. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. You're going to be a clown.
I have to be a fucking clown.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You motherfuckers.
Get a
Team
little
Cherry.
clown car for you.
Dude. Anyways, till next time, I love you all. We'll be back very soon. Goodbye.